So let's now take it one after the other based on use case. So the first use case will be for remote workers. So if you're looking at designing, if you're looking at the SASE access for remote users, which are basically the roaming users, what you will have is, we do recommend Umbrella. So Umbrella, which would have different components or different license deliverables. It could be maybe a use case for SWG, a use case for DNS security. And what you would have is every user would have to go to Umbrella, pass through Umbrella for traffic validation and policy enforcement before they can access SASE applications. So you don't have to bore your DC network or your branch network. They will just have to pass direct to the internet, but via Umbrella first. So that's for remote worker to SASE applications. Then the second use case will be VPNless, and VPNless would be just accessing applications, but you don't have what we refer to as you don't have to authenticate yourself, right? So what you would have in this case would be the dual network gateway will be the one to do the authentication for you. So once you are able to authenticate via MFA, you are now seamlessly granted access into the DC apps or private environment. So the third use case will be for VPN users. So once you initiate a VPN request, that request goes to the FTD, which is in the DC. And from the FTD, you are now required to authenticate as a second step of proof of who you are before you are now granted access into the environment. Now, the fourth use case will be for direct internet access. Direct internet access could be maybe a user in your branch network or any user within the enterprise that wants to access the internet. That user would still have to go through your internal network if the user is sitting within the branch or any other environment within the enterprise, but that user would have to go through Umbrella. Umbrella also enforces additional security before you can access SASE solution. The fifth use case will be for DC to DC. So for DC to DC is already a trusted traffic because you have your SD-WAN between your branch network and your DC network. So it's already a trusted environment. So they don't have to go through the internet access as well. They don't have to go through the internet. It's already an SD-WAN environment. So now I'm going to be talking about Connect, and in Connect, I'm going to be diving down. I'm going to be doing a deep dive into each of these components I discussed earlier. So for Meraki, what are the attributes that you can get from Meraki dashboard? Just from the Meraki SD-WAN. You can have application SLA. Application SLAs for your applications such as your Microsoft, your general SASE applications. You can have SLAs for them. You can also have automation in case there are any incidents that need to be taken care of. You can have behavior analytics. You can see how your internet access is behaving from a service provider standpoint. You can also see how the highly utilized applications. With that, you can now implement application control. You can also see how your network is behaving in terms of user access and user experience. So you can also see that from a single dashboard and take action. You can have integrated multi-cloud access. So you can do multiple integrations with your Meraki environment, your Meraki SD1. You can do middle mile optimization. So within service providers, you can prioritize which service provider takes precedence in terms of traffic or link utilization. You can also see telemetry. So all these informations that all the activities that happen within your environment is displayed on a dashboard, and you can take action on that based on the telemetry that you get to receive. Now, for umbrella integration, umbrella integration within the Meraki environment is very simple, and I think it's just 2 clicks away, and you will have that integration, just from your dashboard. No additional configuration required. Once you do that click, it checks with Cisco Cloud and validates your license that is implemented in engine. Now let's discuss Cisco Secure Client. Cisco Secure Client is now integrated with, we've expanded the scope, and we now have the umbrella roaming client integrated into it. Before, we used to have the umbrella roaming client